But you have to understand, if people get this in their feeds and their social media all the time, are you telling me that people are not going to start, if they hear Micah Beckwith of Indiana say Islam is a demonic religion, and then they hear guests on your show saying Islam's a threat to the West, and they hear Randy Fine saying Sharia law is taking over America, you don't think two Nazi teenagers with guns are going to go, well, I'm going to go deal with this mosque down my street? You're telling me there's no link between that?
Yeah.
Come on.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Grab a seat because this one got heated fast. Today we are dropping in on a fiery sit-down between podcast host Patrick Bet-David and journalist Mehdi Hasan, and these two do not hold back. It starts as a conversation about Islam, immigration, and who really loves America, but it quickly turns into a full-on clash over incitement, political violence, and some eye-opening claims about money and power at the very top. Mehdi comes in with receipts. Patrick fights to hold his ground, and the back and forth gets sharper with every single point. Trust me, you are going to want to stick around for the whole thing, because the strongest moments hit in the back half, and the final exchange is the kind you will be replaying. Before we get rolling, drop a comment and let me know exactly where in the world you are watching from. I love seeing how far this channel reaches, so say hello. Alright, enough from me. Let us get into it.
I'm like, listen, this is not the right way to do it. He says, I'm not laughing. This is an 18 Delta guy. And I said, really? He says, yeah, look at the front gate. So I go to the front gate. I'm looking. I'm like, wait a minute. What is that? Cops everywhere. Guy shows up. I'll show you the pictures afterwards. With grenades, with weapons, with guns that came in here. And the number of death threats that we started getting afterwards, insanity, just for having BB.
Dare I ask, what was the guy's background? Do we know?
I couldn't tell you. I know he went away. I know they took his weapons away. I'll show you a couple texts and emails.
Was he quote unquote far right? Was he quote unquote Islamist? Do we know what his ethnicity was?
I have no idea.
Okay,
I don't know that. I have no idea what that was. But the point is, the threat started increasing only after BB. So here's the part: when you say that, I think that applies to both sides.
I agree.
If you think about like who in 100%. The history of America has had more assassination attempts as a president, where do you think that's coming from? He's a fascist, Hitler, this, that. He's a bigot.
He deals it out. He's the one who started the threats and the violence.
I'm not going to sit here and apologize for him.
He calls his opponents Nazis.
He's called a lot of people a lot of things.
He called Biden a Nazi.
But the guys, after how many times they called him, he couldn't get anything right. When he was coming up, the media was just...
Come on, in 2016, he suggested the Second Amendment people should take care of Hillary Clinton. Come on, I have a longer memory. But let me come back to what I was saying. I agree with you. We need it across the board. I don't think we should have political violence. I don't support political violence on any end. I don't justify going after capitalists or anyone else. I'm against violence. So I'm saying to you, for example, you did a show recently, or not recently, I looked it up because I knew we were going to talk about Islam here. You have a show on YouTube called Islam's Hidden Threat to the West. You have another headline, Will Muslims Run America in 30 Years? Now, I know you like to host good faith discussions and debates, but you have to understand, if people get this in their feeds and their social media all the time, are you telling me that people are not going to start, if they hear Micah Beckwith of Indiana say Islam is a demonic religion, and then they hear guests on your show saying Islam's a threat to the West, and they hear Randy Fine saying Sharia law is taking over America, you don't think two Nazi teenagers with guns are going to go, well, I'm going to go deal with this mosque down my street? You're telling me there's no link between that?
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I'm not going to say there's no link between that. Of course,
we have to be careful. Let's not. We know that demonizing minority communities. Look what happened to synagogues. And I would say the same thing about the Jewish community. We have to be careful about our criticism of Israel, so it doesn't lead to attacks on Jews. The question becomes, for me, it's all on data. Meaning, if you live in my community, you make it safer, I'm all for it. Yeah.
If you come and you create jobs, I'm all for it. If you come and you assimilate, you love America, I'm all for it. If you come in, you don't contribute, you take advantage of the programs that we have, you don't want to create jobs, where is the incentive? Why are we bringing...
That's a different argument. We can have that argument. It is. I'm talking about incitement. When you say Muslims, are they going to run America in 30 years? Of course not. We're 1% of the population.
I don't think so. No,
when you say Islam is a threat to the West, oh, come on, 1% of the population.
By 2050, you guys are going to be the biggest population in the world. You guys make 2.9
But not in America. Not in America. Okay, we're not even going to be... Pull up the numbers, Rob. What are we going to be in 2050?
The difference between you and I is, I think long term.
And even if, by the way, if we do grow as a community, even that, this is, I'm sorry to go back to World War II and the Nazis, but look at the rhetoric that Nazis used about Jews in 1920s, 30s. These people are aliens, they are parasites, they're leeching off our state.
This is the moment everything clicks into place, and I need you to stay with me. Patrick sits there acting like the violence in this country only flows one direction. He throws out this line, asking who in the history of America has faced more threats as a president. Like that line settles the whole thing. And here is what people miss. The volume of threats is not a scoreboard for who is morally right. It is a symptom of a climate, and that climate did not fall out of the sky. What gets me is how fast Patrick pivots the second Mehdi turns the mirror back on him. Because Mehdi did his homework. He points out that Patrick ran a show titled Islam's Hidden Threat to the West, and another one asking, will Muslims run America in 30 years? Then Mehdi connects the dots Patrick clearly did not want connected. When you flood millions of feeds with that framing every single day, you are not just asking innocent questions. You are planting a seed. Then Mehdi lands the line that should make every honest person freeze. He says, you do not really think two young men with guns might go after a mosque down the street, and he asks if Patrick truly believes there is no link. That is the entire argument in one breath. And here is the history nobody wants to hear. In 1930s Germany, the documented playbook started this exact same way. Before any violence happened, a minority was branded as aliens, as parasites, as people leeching off the state. Mehdi names that pattern out loud. The words always come first. The danger follows. We know how that story ends, because it is written down. That is why this is not a small thing.
The rhetoric is it's very similar. When I listen to Andy Ogles and I listen to Chip Roy and I listen to Randy,
yes, you think Ilhan Omar loves America.
You know how I know she loves America.
You think Ilhan Omar loves America?
You don't?
Absolutely not.
She absolutely loves America. You know how I know she loves America?
Tell me.
Because she came to America, she decided to run for office. When she ran for office, she ran as a lefty who devotes her life to trying to improve people's lives. She wants healthcare for everyone. She wants healthcare for every Trump voter watching this show.
Speech of saying she is eventually going to return to her country and contribute to her country. She's only doing this to advance her country.
This is bullshit. Ilhan Omar.
It's her words. Pull up the video.
Listen to me.
Pull up her video. It's her words. I just showed you Sam Piker, and you're like, I've never seen that video.
Let me say this to you.
Go ahead.
Donald Trump has made more anti-American remarks than Ilhan Omar. If we're going to go down who loves America, she loves it more than Trump does. She did insider insurrection.
Ilhan Omar loves America.
100 times more.
100 times more. I'm so glad
not even
the audience
1,000
can
times
see
more.
that Ilhan Omar loves America more than Trump.
Well, one person incited an attack on our democracy. One didn't. One tried to undermine American democracy. One didn't.
Well,
one pardoned 1,600 people who attacked America. One didn't.
What happened with her finances? Where did the $30 million network come from out of nowhere?
So now,
it was an accounting error.
Hold on.
Sorry,
Hold on.
Don't go Trump butts.
I am going to do that.
Go do the butt
because
Trump.
Your argument now is first of all, I don't want to get into rights and wrongs of politicians' finances. You're telling me Republican congressmen are not corrupt?
You're doing a butt. Okay, got it.
No, I'm just wondering.
Forgiving Ilhan.
I'm just wondering because
just
Patrick,
like you have this winding.
No, because
Ilhan Omar amended a congressional financial.
What's that got to do with beloving America? You're telling me if people's finances don't have Donald Trump is the most corrupt politician in modern American history. You just said he loves America. Donald Trump is the most corrupt politician in America.
That's your opinion, guy.
He just made $3 billion. No, it's not.
In your eyes.
Okay, Rob, pull up the numbers. Pull up the numbers, Rob. Forbes magazine. How much money did Donald Trump's net worth go up by last year?
Let me ask you.
$3 billion.
Just out of curiosity.
$3 billion. How did he make that?
Are you going to go?
How did he make $3 billion while president?
Are you going to go? Are you going to go and show the same? Wait a minute. If you're going to allow me to rebuttal,
you always rebut with a question.
Are you
noticed that over?
You've been doing it. All you do is yeah, but
I said Ilhan loves America.
You're a professional yeah, but
I said Ilhan loves America.
Just out of curiosity.
You're the jump around guy. We were talking about who loves America. Now we're talking about politicians' finances.
Are you also going to go?
Look at that line, Patrick. Look at that line. Rob is good.
Can I show you something?
You know you said capitalists expand, Rob. If you're ever looking for a job, my friend.
Yeah, everybody's been trying. So if you go back here, then what's your argument if you say, look, stay on that, Rob, stay on that.
Yeah.
Then what do you say? His first presidency, he lost so much money. Did you ever say that? You never said that. Because that doesn't add to your argument.
But I've always said the second term is the term where he's got no guardrails. He gets to do whatever he wants.
No, but his first term, he lost money.
Okay, but the second term?
What about a second term? Market's gone up. He's made money. Market's gone up. Have you made more money in the last 18 months?
Here is where Patrick really loses the thread, and you can feel it happen in real time. The conversation shifts to who actually loves this country, and Mehdi refuses to let the lazy version stand. He argues that the sitting president has thrown out far more anti-American remarks than the congresswoman. Everyone wants to demonize. And once you stop reacting on reflex and actually look at the record, that is not even a wild claim. This is the part that blows my mind. Mehdi goes into this rapid-fire rhythm, and it is surgical. He says one person incited an attack on our democracy, and one did not. One tried to undermine it, and one did not. One pardoned 1,600 people who stormed the seat of government, and one did not. You cannot wave that away with a feeling. Those are events that happened, on the record, in front of all of us. And watch what Patrick does with all of it. He does not answer. He sprints straight to the Congresswoman's finances, trying to muddy the water. So Mehdi just calls it plainly and says, we are talking about the most corrupt politician in modern American history. Patrick's only comeback is that it is merely an opinion. Then comes my favorite tell of the whole exchange. They pull up the net worth numbers, and Mehdi traps him beautifully. Patrick admits, in his own words, that the first term lost money. He says it himself. And here is why that admission matters so much. It quietly destroys the entire heroic businessman story he had been leaning on. The second the numbers stop helping him, suddenly the numbers do not count anymore. You have to understand, that is not analysis. That is a man protecting a narrative.
Markets, do you know what happened on January 19th? The day before he became president, inaugurated?
Tell me.
The Emiratis put $500 million into his crypto fund. Do you think that was the market going up? They gave a $500 million bribe to Donald Trump. $187 million went straight into Trump bank accounts. Ilhan Omar can work for the rest of her life, do whatever. She'll never make $187 million. Trump made that in one day from the Emiratis. If Biden or Hunter Biden had done it, you'd be up in arms. Now, back to the topic of who loves America.
You said Ilhan Omar loves more than... I'm so
I'll
glad
tell your
you're going to be
here.
judged quoted for that.
Please quote me. Let me finish the quote.
And then let's go back to Islam
Let's finish
as
the
well.
quote. I will. Ilhan Omar has spent her political career trying to get free lunches for every American child, including the children of MAGA voters. Donald Trump has spent his presidency taking away Medicare, taking away health care from people, taking Medicaid away from people. So yes, Ilhan Omar loves Americans more than Donald Trump loves Americans. By the way, when she was threatened by a Trump supporter who tried to kill her, he went to prison, tried to kill Ilhan Omar in 2019. She went to the sentencing and she asked for his sentence to be reduced, to give him grace. I can't imagine Donald Trump doing that.
And now we hit the part I genuinely cannot stop thinking about, because this is where the mask comes all the way off. Mehdi drops the receipt. He explains that the day before the inauguration, a Gulf state poured $500 million into the president's crypto venture, and he calls it exactly what it looks like, a $500 million bribe. Then he gets specific. $187 million flowing straight into personal accounts in a single day. Sit with that number for a second. Mehdi makes the comparison hit hard. He says the Congresswoman could work honestly for the rest of her entire life and never touch a sliver of what got made in 24 hours. And he flips the hypocrisy switch perfectly, pointing out that if the other party's family had pulled this exact move, the same people staying dead silent right now would be screaming from the rooftops. He is not wrong. The selective outrage is the whole game. But here is what truly separates these two visions of leadership, and it has nothing to do with money. Mehdi tells the story everyone needs to hear. He reminds Patrick that this Congresswoman was once targeted by a man who threatened her life. That man went to prison, and instead of celebrating, she showed up at the sentencing and asked for his punishment to be reduced. She asked for grace toward the very person who had wished her harm. Think about the size of that choice. That is what loving people actually looks like. Not the slogan, the action. And Mehdi closes by saying he cannot picture his opponent ever doing the same, and you know what? Neither can I. This is why I will defend this position every single time, because one side measures patriotism by how loud you can wave a flag, and the other measures it by what you are willing to do for people who can never pay you back, including the ones who hate you. Strength was never about domination. Real strength is mercy when you have every reason on earth to choose revenge. That is the whole thing right there. That is what this clip proves. So what do you guys think of this? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.